Okay, beside the list of bold-faced names that the president pardoned, like Michael Milken and Rob Blagojevich, were women whose cases were not as well known. The president is championing criminal justice reform. The president commuted sentences for 3 women convicted of nonviolent drug or fraud offenses. The cases of Tatnise Hall, Judith Negron, and Crystal Munoz were supported by Alice Johnson, a criminal justice advocate who had her life sentence for a nonviolent drug offense commuted by President Trump in 2018. Let's bring in Heritage Foundation Senior Legal Fellow Hans von Spakovsky. Hans, this is an interesting story. The president is the one doing criminal justice reform and commuting these sentences. Your reaction?
Well, it's funny that no one in the liberal aisle wants to give him credit for this. And look, these are all very excusable pardons and commutations. In each case, the pardons or commutations were supported by many people, including in one of the cases, I think it's Judith Negron. She's such a model prisoner that even the warden of her prison supported the commutation of her sentence. So contrast this with some of the terrible pardons that prior presidents have made, like President Obama and Bill Clinton, and you can see that there was nothing unusual about this. I think this was very routine and really far from fair to be criticized.
You know, some of the pundits will say, oh, this is a play for swing votes, like minority votes. This is about humanity. It's about appealing to all of our hearts and minds about what is the right thing to do, what is justice, and about caring for each other as human beings. Alice Johnson is taking on Bernie Sanders' criticism, saying that the president was helping only the politically connected. Watch this soundbite.
I wasn't politically connected, and I know that 3 of my friends, Judith Negron, Crystal Munoz, and Tatnise Hall, were granted commutations today, and they definitely are not politically connected. And anyone who thinks that these women should not have been granted clemency have not looked at their cases. They should be celebrating that these mothers are being reunited with their families. Their stories are very, very compelling.
I think it's fascinating.
And I'm very thankful that I could play. Yes.
Mothers being reunited with children. I'm going to ask my team. Team, put up the image of Clinton Stewart. He's a man. This other case, just this past January, released from a Colorado prison. President Obama denied clemency for Clinton Stewart. He was released a nonviolent offense that he's in prison for I think for 7 years. The president signed the First Step Act. When he was stepped out of prison, this gentleman said, we have a president and Trump who did more than pay lip service to criminal justice reform. Your reaction?
Oh, no, I think that's very clear. This president actually did something about an issue that prior presidents and others have simply been talking about. Again, contrast what the president did with these ordinary, everyday, non-politically connected folks. Contrast that with, for example, Barack Obama pardoning Chelsea Manning, someone who had disclosed secret, classified military information that put our men and women fighting.
He commuted the sentence of Chelsea Manning.
Yeah, he commuted a sentence. But he commuted the sentence of someone who put our folks fighting in Iraq and Afghanistan at risk. Contrast that with what happened here.
We're coming up against a hard break. We say that again. We have to go to break right now, right, team? Yeah, we're going to take a break. I'm so sorry we ran out of time.
It's okay.
We had the president's speech earlier this hour, covering it live. Hans, we're going to have you back on. Great to see you.